We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. Bitch, we in the building. Finally, RZeroB, PTA, Buffalo K and Ash have come back to BGN, which means that finally we have come back to RZeroB and PTA Giants Talk. Now today, we've got a show among shows. We have the most sexiest bald individual I've ever seen pick up an Xbox controller, Buffalo K. And we've got the jabroni beating. Wait, no, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I apologize. That's me. We've got Ash. Gotta catch 'em all here today. In today's show, we're going to be talking Giants voluntary minicamp. We're going to be talking about some of the people that think they're too good to show up. You know who you are. And we're going to talk about that other team. No, not the gangrene team. The other team that's further north.
Yeah.
That gets all the snow.
Yeah, a lot of snow.
That tried to copy our colors with the red and
They
blue.
did.
You know,
They did,
white.
yeah.
And those
they did.
crappy SOBs, the Buffalo Bills.
Toast! I mean, yay! Yeah, yay! Yay!
Yay! What I need you to do is grab your coffee, your water, your protein shake, your little milkshake, whatever you want it to be. Grab your snack. That could be some corn pops. That could be some regular popcorn. It could be some churros, or if you're eating healthy, some rice cakes, which are absolutely delicious. Drink it down, eat it up, turn that sumbitch sideways, and sink it straight up your candy ass. Because the only thing that matters is the entertainment show of a lifetime. Because to be the man,
woo! Wait, no, that's not it.
That's not it. Oh, this is it. For the 1,000 in attendance and for the millions watching around. No, that's not it either.
Oh man, I was getting ready though.
I know we can listen. I know.
I was getting ready though.
It's still PG-13. You can't do that.
Oh shit! Fuck! You're right. My bad.
Can we curse? Are we allowed to curse? Who fucking cares?
Yeah, whatever.
This is it. If you smell what RZeroB and PTA, Buffalo K, and Ash Ketchum. I really got to teach this guy right over here. No, this way. I used his finger.
Wait, like this?
Yeah, like that. Like this.
This.
Yeah,
If I go any farther out, then this is a whole different thing here. Okay, and listen, we just got on BGN. We just got on OGN. Let's not get canceled right away. So instead of doing that, we're gonna go ahead and kick this damn show off. What's going on, Rob? How you doing?
What's going on, PTA? I'm living large. I'm looking good. Got the black shirt on. Got the drip going on.
A little bling, little bling, bling.
Okay. Bling, bling. Got the hair slicked back.
Yeah.
The shade. Remember what it's like to have hair? Oh wait, my bad. I'm sorry.
Damn, son.
Oh, good. It's a choice. This feels good. This feels good. I like it.
Listen, I honestly, I kind of want to go bald. I've been seeing so many people go bald. And quick question, what is it like being bald? Like, how much of a relief? Like, do you even use shampoo anymore?
No need for shampoo. Just some moisturizing soap. And then some after we shave it every morning, I have a nice little balm I put on it. It cools it right down. It's nice, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what?
So you and your head have a little bonding session.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He rubs the tip,
all of that stuff.
He rubs the tip of it. Yep. You know what I mean? Put a little bit of oil, and then he rubs the tip.
Yeah, dude, the best feeling in the world is shaving your head right before you go to bed. Right, bake it right down. Like every inch of the pillow is the cold side.
You know what? I do enjoy
hot side of the pillow. It is so nice.
I do enjoy getting some head before I go to bed. Wait, that's not what you said. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. That's not what Buffalo just did.
I just don't know.
Now, how many weeks or days or months did it take you to stop doing this? Like,
I still do it. I still do it nonstop.
You still do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, listen, but no cap though. But no cap. Like when I used to have my hair cut, the military style, it was super easy and super manageable. But like now in the morning, I gotta like comb it out and I gotta pick it. I gotta moisturize it. I gotta do all kinds of shit to my hair. Like it's a hassle, and I kind of miss not having hair on my head. I kind of miss.
You're a hassle. Your hair's a hassle. You just one big hassle.
No hassles are off though. Okay.
One big hassle. Ash. How are you and Pikachu doing? You guys still talking?
It's crazy. I should have put my full YouTube channel on there, but yeah, we're doing good. Me and the buddies, Pikachu and Charmander and Squirtle. We're all chilling over here. So
so they didn't evolve?
No, not yet. We're not up to that.
What kind of trainer are you?
What kind of trainer are you that your Pokemon are?
I'll be honest with you. The way the Buffalo K acquires coins, he would have had them at level 100 already.
I mean, yeah, for real. For real. Like, for real. If
anybody's watching, if you guys play Madden and you're looking for somebody to teach you like calculus, like if you ever been to school and you go to your school and you're in calculus class and that shit gives you a fucking headache, just watch how Buffalo K acquires MUT coins. It'll give you a headache. Let
me tell you something. When I found out about Buffalo K, when I found out that Buffalo K existed, it was because I saw a tweet that said, check out Buffalo K's new method. I clicked on the link. It opened up a YouTube video. I watched about 5 minutes of the YouTube video and said, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. And I turned that shit off. Okay, listen. Y'all know I'm honest. I'm an honest guy. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, and I was like, yeah, nah. It was too difficult. It was too fucking. I was like, fuck it. I'll stick to being a CFM nerd. It was too difficult. Okay, but Buffalo K's methods, like they work. That's the thing.
They've got the $1 million man who was in the WWE. This guy right here, he's the $50 million man.
75. We hit 75.
It 75.
Yeah, 75. They hit 75. They hit 75 million MUT coins. 75 million is what he hit. When I tell you that this man's methods work, and if you're a MUT head and you want to know how to get just a crazy amount of coins and not have to spend so much fucking money in the game, then you need to be listening to Buffalo fucking K. All right? We're going to put that out there right now.
100%. Well, listen, I want to appreciate everybody coming on tonight. It means a lot to have Kay and Ash here joining us. We got a great show. We're going to talk a little bit about, the Giants, the voluntary, preseason or the mini camp. We're going to talk about some of the non-showers, talk about a little bit of the press conferences. And then we got we have an active Bills player, but, a former owner of Brian Daboll and a lot of that coaching staff. Some, familiarity there. So, we're going to pick a little bit of Kay's brain, and we'll talk some Bills football. Not, they were a game away from the conference championship. I think they were the conference championship game last year. So, I don't really know what they need to improve on. They're doing well, but we'll talk a little bit about that. So I want to thank you boys for coming.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in. We'll dive right in, talk a little Giants mini camp, obviously voluntary. Ash, what's your initial thoughts on the people that showed up and some of the interviews and everything like that and what you're thinking? Let's get your thoughts on that, sir.
I'm sorry.
Yo, that's hilarious. I'm sorry, I had to show that. That's funny as shit. Yo, Rob, you used to rock nothing but white beaters in school? He did too. That's why he's drinking from his glass, because he did.
It's cool, bro.
Oh, shit.
Don just having the greatest moment of his life right now.
Yeah.
I follow Don on Twitter, right? On Instagram, right? He posted a picture. Don Vito looks like one of those people in the Batman cartoons that's be like, It's the bat. Right.
He looks like a henchman. He doesn't look like a criminal mastermind. He looks like a fucking henchman.
Henchman for the Penguin.
Listen, Don, it's okay. I know you want some of this,
Man, that's
but I'm taking.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put the show off the rails this quickly. We knew it was going to go off the rails. We didn't know it was going to happen this quickly. I'm sorry, Rob. It's the floor is yours again. My apologies.
It's all right. Mikasa Sukasa. You know what I'm saying? Ash, go ahead. Talk to me about the mini camp. Your thoughts on who showed up and what you're seeing so far.
It surprised me. I thought this was OTAs, to be honest, but today it's labeled as mini camp, and seeing them actually being on the field, actually, they were doing 7-on-7. I think they went inside, they went outside, they were doing a lot of stuff, and it surprised me that they were doing all of this early on in the off season. And so it really shows me that Shane and Dable, at least to me, they want to get an early start on these things. If you've seen me today on Twitter, kind of been going haywire due to like a certain player, but I don't know if y'all want to get into that now, if y'all want to do that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll get there.
But I do, at least I know like people like Kenny Galladay, Leonard Williams, a lot of people take this serious, and even after getting paydays, it shows that they want to rebound from that season last year. They're open to change. I think Leonard Williams said something today about him not hating the rebound. I mean the what's the word I'm looking for? The rebuild. I said rebound. Him not hating the rebuild, he just hates like all the losing and stuff, and he actually wants to see some progress this year. It was nice to hear from Dable and Shane and even Saquon about how he wants to rebound this year, wants to prove the haters wrong. So that to me, it really really feels good to hear some of these players. Actually, a couple months after without doing football, it's like we need football every month. It kind of feels like.
Now, I think adding the extra season definitely makes it feel like there's less of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like making the season longer, that it's less of a gap in between the season ending and when the off season stuff takes place. Go ahead, PTA. My bad.
I actually because as I'm listening to Ash and he's talking about all these things, it makes me think of a question for Kay, because in your opinion, right? How have you felt your team has handled, OTAs, voluntary workouts? How have they handled this in the past from your perspective in Buffalo?
I mean, it used to be a big deal when guys wouldn't show up. Or like it used to be like, oh, this guy doesn't want to be here. This guy's lazy. This guy's whatever. And that's from a fan perspective, right? Like the outside looks at it that way. Everybody else in the media and the coaching staff, like, look, it's voluntary. Some of these guys are in the middle of a workout program somewhere else. You know what I mean? They don't want to cut that short to come out here. I get it. Some might have stuff going on, still recover from injury, whatever. It used to be like super, super toxic when somebody didn't show up. I was scrolling through the feed today. Like I didn't even see anybody notice from the Bills that didn't make it to OTAs today, or to minicamp, whatever this is now, the voluntary minicamp. So it seems like everybody's there, everybody's on board, lots of new faces showing up and getting to work early. So it I don't know if that's because the team's doing better, right? So guys are more anxious to get back to work and get over the end of last year, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it might just be as the aura around the team changes, then more guys want to be around it.
So I mean, you feel like in the past things have been going very smooth for y'all. Like you guys don't go into the off season worrying about issues at all, do y'all? I mean, because things are good for y'all right now. So when your off-season program starts, you guys are like, yes, we don't got to worry about nothing. We're gonna be good.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, because we got our quarterback.
Yeah,
right? Like anything outside of that, I feel like I can replace. Without that quarterback, I'm in shambles, right? Like that part's solid, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. And then, like we got Trey White coming off an ACL. We don't know how he's going to be at the start of the season. Like, okay, we got 2 other, kind of second string cornerbacks. They should be okay. Maybe we'll get a guy in the draft, right? So not even a worry. Jordan Poyer wants a new deal. Really, really good. 2 years left in his contract. I'm sure he'll still play this year. Again, not a super big worry. They got Von Miller early in the draft or in the trade process. Like, defense is done. Shut it down. Sign Stephon Diggs. Done. Like at this point, like as a Bills fan, you're sitting there going, anybody we get in the draft is a bonus. Like we feel good like today. Like we're ready to put that squad out today, right now, and go play.
Yeah, see, we don't have the luxury of feeling that way because I can't think of a Giants fan right now that's in their mind saying I can't wait for this to start because we got too much stuff to fix right now, and so there is no level of comfort here.
Right. It was that way here for a long time until Josh Allen got here. Man, it was 20 years of that. Where it was just perpetual, like we need 9 new players in the draft. Like the whole team needed to be changed over. And then we got the quarterback, and then it was like, oh, we don't need anything else. Like you don't need anything. And we don't have a running back. Like we legit, like we have fucking nothing at running back, right? Singletary started come on at the end of last year. We have a 0 run game. Not even a concern. Don't care. I don't want to run anyway. Right? I don't want him to don't run.
Josh Allen can run a damn ball.
Exactly.
You want your quarterback to do all the running.
Josh Allen run a damn ball.
Right. People give him shit all the time. It's like, oh, well, he's your running game. I'm like, and it's working. Like, why would I want to change that? I don't need anybody else.
He's a goddamn animal. He's a goddamn animal. He's out there. He's looking for contact. Right. He's not trying to shy away from it. He's not trying to slide early.
Brian Dable had a really good chemistry where Dable would give him a carry within the first 2 drives because he told them and said, I need to hit someone to get into this game.
Yeah.
For his trigger to go off and not get hit, he needs to go out
and
hit
somebody.
As a quarterback, he felt he had to go hit someone to get fully in the game.
Yeah. I mean, listen, so who gives a shit about your run game when your quarterback your best fucking running back. And he can throw the shit out of the ball. He can throw the shit out of the ball, by the way.
How mad we would get on 3rd and 1. They come out in I formation. I'm like, oh, you fucking idiots. Like, don't do this. Like, why? Why do this? Throw the ball. Don't do this.
Okay, cool. I talked about this a little bit on the Twitters earlier today because, like, I can understand why it's important. As someone who's coached football, I understand why this time is important. This is very important time here, okay? But I'm not going to create a news story about the fact that someone did not come to a voluntary workout, okay? I understand how important it is. I really do, but I don't care about this right now. Like, I don't care. And Kay brings up a great point. There are a lot of football players right now that are in the middle of their personal off-season training program. And so if they're still in the middle of it and they don't want to leave to fly to wherever the hell the team is, they don't have to. So, like, we see these players don't show up and we think that they on the couch eating Cheetos, which Dexter Lawrence apparently is. We'll talk about that a little later on. But like, these guys are out training. Like right now, they're still training. They're still doing their off-season program, and that's important. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of stock into people not showing up to voluntary shit. I'm just not going to, okay? When it's time for everybody to be there and it's mandatory, if someone doesn't show up, then I got a problem. That's how I feel.
See, I'm opposite. I'm opposite. I think, if you have a winning team that is doing well, and maybe you have some older veteran guys that are going through their personal training process to basically keep themselves fresh because they know their body's not the same, it doesn't recover the same, things of that nature. I understand that, and I'm with that. But when you have young guys that are cleared of any injury, they have the ability and should have the know-how, like, hey, when is voluntary workouts going to be starting? Okay. I'm going to start my off-season training to make sure that it's done in time. Whatever I want to do personally, whether I want to go and work with a coach that I've been working with since high school, whatever it may be, some type of, eating, diet, whatever, and making sure that you're there, especially when you're in a team that has a new head coach, a new general manager, a whole new coaching staff, new players, new scheme, new regimens that are coming in. Yeah, they're not going over that stuff right now. This is more or less again, voluntary workouts, but it shows how much you care about the organization, how much you care about what was on the field last year, how much you want to fix and change what this organization and how this damn well ain't nobody really skipping out of New England's voluntary mini camps or Mike Tomlin's voluntary mini camps. Like there's no way. And that's why those teams are always successful, because their players are bought in. They want to repeat. They want to come back. They want to avenge what they did not achieve the year prior. So the fact that Dexter and KT, I'm not surprised. I said on this show, I said, I think KT is a good talent, but I don't think he's a fit for New York. And I don't think he's going to be there. And we're not going to re-sign him. To me, that type of attitude, I don't want that in my locker room. And I'll be honest, I was surprised by KG. I saw KG last year quitting on balls, quitting on routes, all of that stuff. I didn't want him. But the fact is, this dude showed up. This dude is doing off-season, completely voluntary workouts and is there running routes, doing drills, getting conditioning in. All of that stuff. Surprised. Blew my mind. I would have thought KG wouldn't have been there and KT would have. But maybe, because he's a second-year guy. But the fact that KT ain't there, and no offense, Dexter, got a lot of love for you, but you haven't really done anything to warrant you sitting at home and not showing up. Last time I checked, you haven't been nominated for top defensive player of the year. Yeah, I'm talking about Dexter.
Dexter was there.
Oh, Dexter was there.
Dexter was there.
I got wrong information.
He's just fat. No, he's there. He's just fucking fat. And he admitted to it.
They could have been where maybe they want to put him in the middle, so they say, "Yo, put on some weight."
He said verbatim, "I'm not in my
340 pounds."
He said I'm not in my best shape right now. The motherfucker's fat. He showed up fat, okay? I don't give a fuck. The young man showed up fat. He is fat. I'm sorry. It is what it is. He's gonna have to drop like a quick 15.
We won't talk about how I just spilled half my drink on my all over my shirt. You see it, I'll spill it all over.
I'll see it in the replay though. I'll make sure to grab that.
Drinking and a piece of ice got stuck in the hole. I'm like, and then the ice just came out and it's all over the floor.
Came out all over you?
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, listen. Okay. Thank God it's Crystal Light. That's all it is.
Well, okay.
So I get like I guess you really kind of touched on it, but I'll let Ash touch on it. You kind of said you don't really care. It's pre-voluntary. It's not that big of a deal. Ash, you clearly seemed a little passionate about it. What's your intake on the players that didn't show?
I just want to make sure y'all hear me because I think I cut out earlier.
We got you. Yeah, we got you. I'm clear.
So what I'm about to say, everybody could take this with a grain of salt. Take it with whatever you know. Your feelings on this is not my problem, right? So I know somebody who I'm friends with on Twitter, who I've talked to many times. If I don't know, barely nobody gets in the Twitter Spaces, but I'm in the Twitter Spaces with him, and I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't need him getting blown up with mentions and DMs. But he's very popular on Twitter and Giants Twitter. So if I probably said who he was, y'all would know him, but I'm not going to. And I'm not making this up. He works with Kadarius Toney's cousin over in Texas, right?
Mhm.
His cousin says that Kadarius is not taking football seriously. Is not to the point that, and again, take this with a grain of salt, saying that Kadarius is not that he's not taking football seriously, but he's not letting football make him. He says Kadarius is not, he's not been working out, and he's still in the streets, right? So like I said, take it for what you will. That's just what I've heard, and I'm not going to say who it was. So, right. So when I give my viewpoint, whether on Twitter or in person or talking to you guys now, that's just the viewpoint I'm giving. Now to what the issue is, right? So we have a receiver who has only played 1 year in college at the receiver position. He has great talent. The most talented receiver we've had since Odell Beckham Jr. He's only played 1 year receiver in college. From college up to now, he's been hurt every single year. He had about 2 games in a first quarter of or 5 snaps against the Rams where he's had remarkable plays and he's had a great impact on the offense. And he missed most of last season, right? He's been injured. He's had what we've heard. He's had trouble learning the offense last year. You would think ideally he would want to learn and would want to better his craft at being a receiver. Now, I get it, and I think people are getting way too caught up in the fact that it is voluntary, and I get that, right? But I want you to look at the image I'm about to paint for you. Kenny Golladay just spent his first season getting paid $72 million, getting his bag, and he's there. Leonard Williams got his bag, and he's there. Adoree got his bag, and he's there. James Bradbury is the only person not there other than him, and we know if they weren't trying to get James Bradbury off this team, James Bradbury will be there. And listen,
that's facts. I agree with that.
If you're working out somewhere, if you're working out with, if you're working out with your coach and stuff like that, that's fine. But don't try to tell me you're working in your granddad's backyard in Balenciaga joggers and a Gatorade towel wrapped around your head, catching balls from a juggling machine just to say, oh, media's some clowns. Like, I don't want to hear that, bro. I really don't. I really don't want to hear that. Again, I'm not saying it's a crime. I'm not saying get him off my team, but it's clear that he doesn't take football serious. You had Kenny Golladay come out and say,
it's fair. It's fair. What you're saying is fair. What you're saying is fair. I'm not going to argue with it. What you're saying is absolutely fair. It's fair.
Let me finish this real quick. I'm sorry. I know I've been ranting. I just want to say you had Kenny Golladay come out and say that he hasn't heard from Kadarius. Of course, Brian Dable is not going to say in front of the media, oh, yeah, I want Kadarius to be here. Because you got dumbasses like Pat Leonard and other media faces that's going to make that a headline in less than a minute. Pat. So, of course, he's going to say that, bro. Of course. So, I'm just saying, like, to me, from what I'm hearing from his cousin, and then with this stuff, it's like, I don't think he takes it serious. And I'm not saying, with today's age of the NFL, of course, you can't make NFL your number one priority. Like, you got to have other options open, unless you're going to be working at Walmart. So, I get that. But to me, it's just clear that he's not taking it serious. And when I put all that together, people forget that this draft coming up is a draft loaded of receivers. And the general manager and coach have no ties to you. Right?
None.
They could easily take a receiver in the second or easily trade back.
I think you could get a first round pick for Kadarius.
You can't get a first round pick for Kadarius, Tony. You can't. You're not going to get a first round pick for him. It's not going to happen. And here's the deal. Like when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? Because I don't want to discredit what Ash is saying here, right? Ash is saying that he spoke to the man's cousin. All right, cool.
No, I personally didn't. I just want to make that clear.
Oh, you didn't. Someone else. Okay.
I've heard it from somebody who.
You heard it from somebody else. Oh, okay. All right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. We gonna see when he comes back. We gonna see what this mofo look like, and if he looks like ass, we'll know. And if that's the case, fuck him. That's like really that's what it's gonna be.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, because I literally said something earlier today. I'm like, listen, Kadarius could not show up for the entire offseason. He'll do one spin move or one juke move, and everybody will be like, "Oh well, you see, he was doing fine." That's the thing. Like,
mm-hmm. No, I agree, Ash, with what you're saying, and I remember I think it was Ash back in the day where not back in the day. Well, like when we did a show. And I said, when it comes to Kadarius Toney, I think I used the word terminology. I think I said thug or whatever. And, and he said, well, I think he asked me, how was he a thug or whatever. But there was the wrong terminology I was looking to use. But this right here with what he's finding out is kind of leaning in the direction as far as what I was trying to say about Kadarius Toney, the way he talks to the media, the way he acts off the field. If he's on the streets, again, we don't know. We don't know about what he's doing or whatever. But if he's out partying, Joel said, wouldn't there be pictures? He could be staying very close and very tight with a certain group of people and not really going out in public. In public, he could be trying to keep it low and tight. You know what I'm saying? And do that, Joel, to where nobody's really going to be posting on social media. At this particular point in time, like Kay mentioned it, off camera, like 20 years of losing, in Buffalo. And we haven't won anything since 2011, and so it's been almost been 12 years, or 11 years, excuse me. So I want to get back to having a football team that is respected by other teams in the league, not just because of what was done in the past, about now, and having this kind of attitude, this kind of work ethic. Again, we shit on Kenny Golladay. But the man showed up. Like, the man showed up, and he's ready to win, and he wants to get better, and he wants to get better with Daniel Jones and with this coaching staff. Voluntary or not, it is what it is. I can understand a guy like Michael Strahan skipping out. That's been in the league. I'm talking about end of his career, Michael Strahan.
Yeah, of course.
Because you put that time in, you put that effort in. Maybe you don't know if you want to play, whatever. Like, I get that. But somebody that this is your second year in the league and you missed the most of last year with an injury, why wouldn't you be there, with your team or whatever? And then Don said about Blake Martinez, Blake is still recovering from his torn ACL.
Yeah, he's
still in recovery.
Blake,
he's there.
He's
not on the field, but he's in recovery.
But I just want to say this, right? I just wanted to say this real quick. Like, I hope Kadarius comes back and he proves everybody wrong. I hope he makes everybody shut up, just straight like that, right? But we gotta act like the Giants. Like, we all know the Giants were the first NFL team to have their workouts. Like, Brian Dable just came out and said, basically, I'm not giving out a playbook if you're not here. That's what he said. Like, they're doing 7-on-7. Like, can y'all really tell me, is there really a time, since, like, a lot of people want Daniel Jones to improve this year, right? When has there been a time, and I get it, he's a Southern boy, so he might not want to come up into the, sorry, I'm not the guest people. He might not want to come up into, like, up north when it's cold and it's chilly. I get that. We literally seen Daniel Jones and Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard go down south on a boat. Like, when have we ever seen Kadarius with his teammates?
We haven't.
Outside of the facility.
Being fair, we haven't. We got to be fair. We haven't.
Like let's keep it. I just when I go on these tangents, it's not because I'm mad or anything. I'm just saying, like, I just want everybody to keep it 100.
Hey, yo,
It's obvious that they made these workouts early because they want to instill and they want to get a jump start on what they're trying to do with this franchise. You know,
hey, yo,
and that's
hey,
all I'm saying.
hey, yo, y'all remember the? I know Robin and Kay. Y'all old enough. Y'all remember the old school black exploitation movies like Shaft?
Oh yeah.
Yo, Ash Money talks like the one militant brother that's got like this is his scene, and he's got to say these lines. He's that one. That's what he sounds like when he talks. That one militant brother in the background. He's that one militant brother in the background. Pops up. Hold on, brothers and
I gotta
sisters.
stand my ground.
So interesting. You're for Kay. I know you're a Bills fan, but looking at this, I guess we can consider as like a third party perspective. Somebody outside of the bubble. How would you view something like this? Seeing the Giants the way they've been, and then you see a guy like Kadarius Toney not showing up. I guess you could make or say that James Bradbury has an excuse, right? Talks about trading him. I'm not going to show up if you don't want me there, type of deal. How would you view this from an outsider's perspective?
I mean, not just an outsider, but someone who went through it. Like, this is the Bills offseason for 20 years. It was the same thing. It was the exact same thing. Like, I'm sitting here hearing this, like, I remember all this. I remember all this. I remember all of it. And the only thing I can tell you is that winning fixes it. You got to win 11, 12 games this year? No, they'll all be there. Right? Go out, win 11, 12 games this year. They will all be there next season. You'll be talking about something completely different. You'll be talking about the next step. Right?
Yeah.
Not what was wrong last year. You'll be talking about the next step.
Preach.
But do you feel like that's still valid for somebody young, like going into his second year, like a Kadarius Toney? Like, I could see, a 3 or 4 year guy, that's been here. Somebody like Saquon, if he doesn't want to show up, minus his injuries, you could say, like, all right, he's losing, he's tired of it or whatever. But somebody as young as KT, second year, you should be there. I feel like it's like
I agree with you.
Unacceptable in that regard.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, from a personal side, yes, right. But that's what it is. That's gonna be my personal opinion, how I would approach it. Right, that's how you would approach it. So like that's where that kind of disconnect comes in. Right, we all look at it as very personal. What would I do if I was in those shoes? But I don't know. It's tough. Like, I don't know where he is headspace wise. I don't know, what he is doing. That's the tough part too. Like, he might not be ready to come back and face it yet. Right. And I know, like, at some point you just have to, right? At some point you got to grow up and do it, but he's young. So he might not know how to, I don't know, like, channel that frustration that he has into something positive yet. Right. Like,
He
that
definitely
might not be where he's at.
Psychologist. He definitely outside of the facility, he definitely does not have a sports psychiatrist. Cause you ain't thinking about that when you're, 22, 23 years old.
Right. That's what I mean.
You ain't thinking about the mental. And Kay brings up, these are very, very valid points that Kay brings up. Like, we don't know what's in his mind. We don't know what he's thinking. We don't know what he's got going on. And to Kay's point, and this is one of the best things I've heard said on this damn channel. Winning fixes it. Because I tell you what, Giants win 12 games this year. It ain't gonna happen, but let's just hypothetically. Giants win 12 games this year. Kadarius Toney has an amazing season. Are we really going to be talking about the fact that he didn't show up to voluntary workouts?
Yeah, he'll be the first one back.
We ain't going to be saying shit. We're going to be like, cool. All right, don't show up next year either. And so that's the space that I'm in, right? Whereas I don't want to judge this situation right now. I would rather wait and see how it plays out. And if Kadarius Toney is ass, then you best believe that I will be in front of this camera, yelling into this mic that he's a fucking shithead. I promise you. You guys know I will do that. But right now, like, I don't want to like necessarily put my personal opinions out there because I don't even know the whole story. I don't even have all the context. I don't. So until
like I said, I was bringing it up. Like when people were freaking out that he wasn't showing up to, like, when they were lifting weights, right? Like, I was like, all right, because last year, like, people were freaking out and his grandma died last year. He had COVID. Like, nobody knew what was happening until after the fact. So I was saying that this year, like, we don't know. It just I don't know, just rubs me the wrong way how these guys are on the field with helmets and jerseys on doing this in April, like right now, more than any team, or really, because I haven't really looked at any other team, so I really don't know if any other team is doing like what the Giants are doing. It's just, to me, like, it's obvious that Dable and Shane are wanting to, they want to instill something early on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say, oh, KT's a bum, get it off my team. We should have never drafted him. He's a bust, this, that, and the third. But I am going, as a fan of the team, I am gonna hold him accountable, right? And
That's fair.
I do that because I love Kadarius Toney. Like, because I know as soon as he drops something, as soon as he drops the ball, as soon as he gets blown up, as soon as he makes a mistake on the field, they're going to go back to this. And right now, he's not leaving himself a lot of wiggle room. Right now, he's not leaving himself a lot of wiggle room to make mistakes. Like,
to defer that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
It makes sense. I can't disagree.
Yeah. Now, Kay was talking about, winning, right? Winning, could fix this problem, right? People tired of losing. Winning brings the team closer together. And, and let's talk about that, right? So the Buffalo Bills, for the first, Joe Shane, Dabe's, they took over in 2018, was their first season. Up until that point, for 17 years, so from 2017, the Bills had 2 seasons over 500. Every year below that was under 500, and some of them were pretty bad seasons. Now 2018 comes around, they're 6-7. They go backwards from the year prior, but new coaching staff, new everything, new quarterback, so it's to be expected. And then the last 3 years, 10-6, 13-3, 11-6. So there's been progression. Obviously, last year wasn't as good as the year before record-wise. But you could see the team – it may sound crazy, but this team was actually playing better, harder, stronger than the year prior. Even though the year prior they had a better record, I felt like they were playing a lot stronger. I felt like the defense stuck out a lot more this year than the year prior, when it was all about Josh Allen running, Diggs scoring touchdown, like all of this other, like just offense going all over the place. And my bad, I think this was Diggs' first year with the Bills, or is this his second year? This is his first year?
This is his second year.
The second year? Okay. So offense was huge the year prior. I think defense really stepped it up a lot this year and became a big vocal point of that team, kept them in a lot of games. So how when you were seeing this progression as a fan, being in tune with everything the Bills were doing, like we are as Giants fans, looking at interviews, were you looking at the interviews? Were you looking at the free agent signings, looking at the the prospects in the draft? And what were your thoughts while even though Dave's wasn't a head coach, he was the offensive coordinator? What were your thoughts as far as the moves, that Joe Shane made? Because he had a big hand in a lot of the moves that were made, the drafting, the free agencies, the releases, the re-signs. What was your thought process going through it offseason by offseason?
I mean, the first year with Josh Allen, honestly, I don't even hardly remember, right? Like, it just seems like that was such a different team ago. And I mean, we like that first year, you'd see like a cool flash, like, oh, look, he can do something, and then it would just fall apart, right? And then year 2 just could not hit a long ball to save his damn life, right? Can hit everything else, but could not hit a long ball, and he fixed that. Long ball works, everything works, and then he's kind of like that kind of like it's been steady progression every year, and then them bringing in like slowly, like honestly, free agent wise, they haven't done shit till this season. It's been all draft guys. They brought in Cole Beasley. That was it. right? Last year they bought in Manny Sanders. Well, I love Manny Sanders, right? But Manny Sanders is not a game breaker no more. I'm sorry. That's it.
The Stephon Diggs trade.
Yeah, they brought in Diggs, right? Yeah, they brought in. That was the start of it, though. That was the start before they started getting good. It was because there was that terrible season. Diggs comes in, they do okay. Then they bring in Beasley at the same time, and then Manny Sanders last year, who they let go of both Beasley and Sanders this offseason. So it's been more of watching like internal growth, right? Guys, secondary guys, guys like Gabe Davis, who's a second-round pick, turned into an absolute fucking stud. Underutilized though. So like the one toughest part about the last few years with Dable, it felt like he kept some of these guys bottled up for way too damn long. Right. And last year the offense seemed to struggle because they weren't doing things they were doing the year previously that really worked. Right. The first half of the season, they didn't run any jet sweeps with Isaiah McKenzie. And the year before that, he was a monster on that. For some reason, went away with it. Started running the ball more with two. I can't even blame two running backs that were bad. We were down at one point 6 offensive linemen.
Do you think that they got more? Because I did notice they were running the ball considerably more this year than the previous year. That's why I think that's why Josh Allen's passing yardage took a dip this year.
Yeah,
where I think he was at like 35 or like 3,600 yards. When the year before that, he was over 4,000.
Right.
He was like 4,500.
Yeah.
Do you
a lot of that I think is weather too.
Well, I was going to ask, like, do you think it's weather? Do you think it's that they really wanted to get more balanced and didn't really want to just be solely on passing the ball? Because come December, having a good running game and a somewhat good motor on your running game pays a lot more than, obviously, we saw the game between him and Patrick Mahomes. That's not always going to happen.
Yeah.
But do you think that was the reason why they wanted to be able to go deep with not just passing?
Yes and no, right? So nothing to do with the time of year, right? The myth that you can't throw in the cold, Bills put up 50 against New England and shit all over them in that playoff game at 10 below zero. So we can throw in the cold. The cold don't mean shit. It's the wind and rain. That's the issue. There were this entire season, this past season, and as the season ticket holder, I was there outside in every one of it. There were 2 games that the fucking sun showed up in Orchard Park this year. And I'm not kidding. 2 whole games that the sun actually came out. The rest of them were rain and high wind. And that's where, I mean, remember that game against New England, the regular season game with 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
And they still threw the ball. And almost won that game at the end. But because of that, that's with those conditions being very prevalent and continuous at that stadium. I think that's why they wanted to establish a run and get teams out of that too high look that they would come out in nonstop. Right? That's really what the run was for, is like, look, they're coming out to cover 4 wide receivers because we come out in 4 wide receivers every play. Like, we have to run a little bit. Like, Dable's whole plan was to run, right, hopefully effectively, to make them go, shit, we need a linebacker, and put one out there. So you put a linebacker and they go, oh, he's dead, right? It's like every bait and switch, right? It's like you're playing MLB right now, right? I'm throwing fastball, changeup, fastball, changeup, looking for that changeup. You change your guy, he's dead in the water. He's the first guy I'm going to. It's like any other game. Your safety or corner goes down. Who am I throwing to for the next 4 straight plays? Let's see if you can do it.
Yeah, right. The replacement. Yep.
I'm going to keep going until you prove you can do it.
Yep.
So it's that whole thing. You're looking for that weak link, and that's why I think he was trying to run the ball. And eventually it did start kicking off once they finally found 5 consistent guys in the line. They had to take a rookie right tackle, put him at left guard, and he turned into a stud out there and actually finally solidified the line. That's how far deep they were. They were like, try him on that side. We're out of options. And luckily it worked. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see less of the run game for it, though. I said I don't need them to run. You can run twice all game. I don't care.
Now this would probably be hard for me to say, seeing as they went into New England, won in a very, very cold game. They went to Kansas City, played a great game. I think if they had these overtime rules, they may have come out potentially with the win.
Probably won that. Yeah,
They could have won that.
Yeah,
But being a season ticket holder, and I get it, the cliche answer would be yes, obviously. But do you feel confident that the Bills are a need home field advantage type of team in the postseason? Or, you know what? Yeah, I love home field advantage, but if we don't, I'm confident. Like, are you confident in that team to go on the road to win games? And I know that's probably a stupid question because they won one road game this year. They were on the road for the playoffs. Or do you feel like having that home field advantage, if they had it this year, may have been that edge to maybe put them in the show?
Maybe. Man, it's a tough call for me, right? One, knowing how bad the weather is here, wet-wise, not so much cold and anything. It's just the wetness makes it harder. But I mean, they went on the road this year and beat Kansas City during the regular season. They went on the road and beat New England in New England. So I have confidence they can go on the road and win. That part doesn't scare me. But that advantage, absolutely. Absolutely. I had never screamed and yelled so much for literally the entire game until that Bills New England playoff game. And it was 10 degrees below zero. There were icicles off my face.
Did you go to that game?
Oh, yeah.
You went to that game?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't missing that. I'm 38 years old. That's my first home Bills playoff game.
Listen,
I was not missing that, bro. There was no shot I was missing that game.
Yeah, if the Giants have a playoff game at home, me as a season ticket holder now, my ass will be there for that, at least that first one. Yeah.
Well, last time they had a home game, I think the home playoff game, that was 2011, right? That was the last time they had a playoff home game.
I think so.
And that was against the Falcons. I was against the Falcons.
Okay, so I got a question for you, Kay. So when news broke that the Giants were hiring Joe Shane as the general manager and Dable as the head coach, what was the feeling in Buffalo? What was the reaction from the fan base, in regards to that?
Concern.
Really? Concern.
Yeah.
Why?
It's the only offensive coordinator that Josh Allen's known. They know each other inside and out. That is a very open, two-way dialogue. It's not run this play. It's, hey, how do you feel today? How's this feel today? How's this feel today? Right? That's the kind of coach
they had that
Dable is.
relationship.
Right? Yeah, he's not going to come in there and just demand your quarterback, nope, you're running this. It's 3rd and 10, we run this on 3rd and 10. No, he's going to come out and say, how's your out game feel today? Right? How's your slant feel today? How's your deep ball feel today? That shit changes day by day. Are you tired today? Are you sore today? Is it too cold for you? Can you not hit this day? Is the wind fucking you up? He's going to relay that back. That's what makes him, so good, is that it's the game plan can change on the fly and go, I just can't hit the out ball today. And he goes, all right, we'll run slants, fuck it. Like, they'll change it up, right? Like, he can do that. He's not afraid to do that. And I know that he's a bit of a bull, right? Like, I think that Sean McDermott, the head coach, wanted to run the ball more often. And I think that the barrier from the Bills doing that even more was Brian Dable. Right? He said, look, the O-line can't do it. We're going to do this. I know you want to establish the run. It doesn't work. We're going to do this. You know what I mean? I feel like he was the catalyst for pushing that much more faster play, the downfield threats. Milo, get down. So the concern is now with somebody else who's in the same tree, right? He was the assistant under Dable for years. It's the same tree. Should be the same philosophy. It's not a new guy from the outside coming in. But I think everybody in Buffalo right now is going, bro, if we run the ball 20 times a game, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, that is just not what this team is, right? Like, it's not, we don't want to see that. I want to see maybe 11 runs a game. That's it. That's all I need. And not on 3rd and 1, right? I want to see him on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 6. Like, go ahead, try for it. Like, I don't want to see 3rd and 1 outcomes I formation. That is the worst.
Now, the name escapes me. I can't remember the name, but obviously when Dave's signed, and Joe Shane came over. Everybody thought it was Dave's. I wanted Dave's.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be.
And the quarterbacks coach that you guys had, I can't remember his name for some reason.
I can't think of his name either.
But there was a lot of talks about the Giants bringing him in as an offensive coordinator, for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of pin rumors that there was an offer on the table already, money, whatever. and then he goes back to Buffalo. The news breaks. He signs with Buffalo, and he's going to go back there. It was like a 3 or 5 year deal or something like that for it to be the offensive coordinator. Your thoughts on, and again, I can't remember his name, but your thoughts on the new offensive coordinator that you have now and how you feel the Bills' offense is going to look.
Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either. I had to look. Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. So your thoughts on bringing him back, making him the OC, and where their offense is going to be going forward.
That part I like. I like that they brought in somebody who's been with Josh for his whole career. That kind of continuity, I think, is massive, right? You got a quarterback who everybody thought was going to be an inaccurate dud, and then turns into an MVP caliber quarterback every year. So not wanting to change too much, right? Like we're all hoping that is a very similar style offense. I want to see 11 personnel very often. I want to see 4 wide. I want to see 5 wide. I want to see Josh running the ball on quarterback powers. What I don't want to see is a balanced offense. I think that's an antiquated system. There's 4 teams in the league that do it. 2 of them make the playoffs, right? Like nobody runs this balanced offense bullshit anymore. It's done. It's dead in the water. It's like almost nobody runs, there's 4 teams in the league that run bell cow running backs. Antiquated system. Give me 4 running backs, rotate them in, keep them fresh. I don't need one guy to run the ball 100 times. Like I said, there's 4 teams that do it. Like 2 make the playoffs. That's it. And they didn't win a game. They didn't win a game this year. The Colts didn't even make the playoffs.
No, they didn't.
No, Tennessee got in and got bounced out real quick.
And they lost. Dallas and they lost.
Right.
Which Dallas's new bell cow is Pollard. It's not even Zeke.
Oh yeah.
Pollard, right?
I think Dallas is probably the closest to a balanced offense that we see in the NFL, to be honest.
And then you got all these Cowboy fans that are poaching. Oh, look at Debo. He's in our locker room. Like, they can't even afford – they're going bankrupt, for crying out loud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't even afford to send their guys to the walk-in clinic to get tested or whatever.
Yeah.
The case may be. So you mentioned and I was kind of leaning towards asking this question before, too. You mentioned, obviously, balance, right? Balanced offense. You don't want it to be that way. And unfortunately, for us, we don't have to really worry about the NFC conference, but the AFC conference is loaded with teams. I mean, absolutely fucking loaded. And so worrying about that balance now, and this kind of was going, my second question towards the home field advantage. I feel now for the Bills would mean home field advantage would mean so much more now when you've got the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Ravens. It goes on and on and on. There's so many good teams that are the Bengals. There's so many good teams now that are in the AFC. Does that concern you, being a Bills fan, having all of these talents? Now it's not like beforehand. It's like, all right, Patriots, Steelers. It's probably going to go through one of those places. Now you don't even know. It could go through 6 different spots that could be the number one. So balanced offense, home field advantage, AFC is stacked. How are you feeling going into this year? Are you nervous? Things like that for the Bills.
No, not so much nervous because all that talent landed in the same division. I expect them to kick the living shit out of each other all season long, right? And those guys be vying in for that playoff spot, right? And then someone's not going to make it. Like, I mean, it's probably bad to say, but like the way that I look at it still is like I still see the Chargers are going to Charger the season. The Broncos added in Russ, right? Like I may be on an island here, but I think Russ sucks. Russ ain't shit.
Ooh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I like it. I just
okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
It's spicy.
Off-topic question. Please elaborate your thoughts on that, sir.
I just think he's like the man. He used to be solid, right? Behind a really good offensive line and a stud of a defense, he can get shit done. I haven't seen that Russell Wilson in 5 years. Him going to Dallas means nothing to Denver means nothing to me.
So you think that his lack of talent was covered by the defense, Marshawn,
Absolutely.
and everything and everything.
Absolutely.
But since Marshawn was gone, though, he was still putting up Pro Bowl, still making the Pro Bowl, still putting up career numbers.
Yeah, Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl too. Let's talk about that. Come on.
Evan Ingram made the fucking Pro Bowl.
Listen, Mac Jones, I tell Patriots, listen, I got a buddy of mine who's a fucking Patriots fan. So, oh yeah, well, Mac Jones made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, because somebody decided not to fucking go.
Because Josh Allen didn't go. That's why.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't make it because they were like,
Right.
wow, we need Mac in there, so,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts made the Pro Bowl.
Like, they don't need that crap.
Yeah, my whole thing with Russ isn't. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback by any means, right? Lots of teams could do an upgrade getting Russell Wilson. What I don't see him is some savior to come into Denver, right? Who I mean, they've had terrible quarterback play, so I don't even know what that team could possibly be. But I saw nothing out of anybody last season out of Denver, right? So I don't know if adding in Russ is the answer for that. Like, they're a team where I'm like, you need like 5 more pieces before I get excited.
I know Judy was hurt last year. Cortland Sutton, that was his first year back after he tore his ACL the year prior. I don't like the fact that they lost Noah Fant, but they supposedly have this other guy with this long, like, German or like Russian name or whatever that's supposedly really good and has better hands than Fant was. So, I mean, that's a downfall. My opinion with Russ is it's hard for me to judge because I see what you're saying. Where he was really effective was earlier in his career when Marshawn was there and you're putting 8, 9 people in the box, sometimes 10 people in the box. And he was making plays. And it wasn't like he was making plays to top tier guys. It was Golden Tate. Right. It was, it was all of these other guys. It wasn't major, like, big time players. But since Marshawn's departure, he's put up good statistical numbers, but it seems that in the games that really necessarily matter and stuff like that or whatnot, that he's been struggling. And is it due to his play or is it due to the fact that he was seeing where Seattle was going and he wasn't a fan? He doesn't seem like that type of guy to do that.
Well,
but
maybe this is the second year in a row. Yeah, I mean, remember, this is also the second year in a row, and it finally happened this year, but there are rumors of him wanting out before the end of the previous season, right? So then he played a whole another season in Seattle and then finally got traded, right? So, like, I don't know, maybe that was a factor of it. Like, this wasn't new that he wanted out of Seattle. We didn't think he was going to play there last year and was shocked that he was going to go back. So I think that, sure, the atmosphere, the culture should play a part into it. Or could, anyway. At the end of the road, I just don't, honest to God, like, what I don't see is the fire in him. And that's why I think he's trash. Right? When I see him talk, like, he's super smart. He's a down-to-earth guy, seems very sincere and nice. But honest to God, he seems like a sweet man. And I need a goddamn bulldozer, not a sweet man.
Hell,
he seems like a real sweet man.
Right? Like, that's just it. Like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, he's in the park handing out candy to kids as they walk by. I need somebody who's going to go out and punch someone in the mouth.
I'm not a sweet man,
but
I sure know what love is.
I don't know if he's got it anymore.
We got about another 12 minutes, to go, or excuse me, 11 minutes. Got about another 11 minutes to go. So we talked some Bills. We talked about mini camp and stuff like that and whatnot, and what's going on with that. I don't really want to get into like any type of draft talk. It's just I've been talking draft.
If you're going where I think you're going, I want you to go there.
Where did you think I was going?
I think you were going to go here.
Yes, I was going to go there. So
go there. I'll let for you.
We'll kind of talk. So, for those in the chat, a lot of the people that are watching, we're really, obviously big, giant content creators, but a lot of you, game as well. And we've got Kay, and I don't want to put Kay on the spot, but I'm going to, respectfully put him on the spot there.
Oh shit. I had nothing to do with this, Kay. Before he says anything, I don't even know what he's talking about. Just put that out there.
What is your opinion? Obviously games have changed dramatically over the years when it comes to all types of games. What is your thoughts on where gaming is as of right now when it comes to the content that's out there, ways to build content? Obviously, being a content creator, being a streamer, and everything like that. Do you find it hard at times to find things to keep people entertained? Is it harder now than maybe 3 years ago when you were streaming?
Oh, I think it's easier now for sure. I think
Why
it's
do
so
you
much
feel that
easier
way?
now. I mean, right now, I just feel like the quality of games are just continuously get better and better. And they're far more accessible, right? Like it seems like having Xbox Game Pass, to be honest, is a damn godsend because I feel like I pay for half the games I play anymore. Having that, like MLB's out on Game Pass, I'm like, well, I can pay for shit. Just log in and play it. I not just the games too, but from the content creator side of it, like everything's so easy, man. Like I get emails daily from different companies now that what they do is they clip your content and send it to TikTok. That's it. I don't do anything to stream. They do it. I don't bother to pay them because I'm like, I can hit the clip button and then 2 seconds I have it on TikTok too. But there's multiple different platforms now to send things out on. You know, I mean, you got Twitch, everything's on YouTube. You can put it on TikTok, Instagram Shorts, YouTube Shorts. I mean, everything's everywhere. There's spaces now on Twitter. Content's there. You just got to get out and go do it, right? Like it's just, as far as entertaining people, that's everybody's own flavor, right? Like it's just like you just got to get on and do your own thing, and then people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Like that's like there's 200 channels on TV for a reason, right? There's 9 different fucking CSI shows for a reason. Like some people like this one, some don't like that one. Like, oh, Vegas sucks. Oh, New York's pussies. Like everybody's got their own like flavor to it. That's all. I mean, just go out and do it, and like for me, it's just the more I have fun with it, I feel like it's easier to get people engaged. Right? Like if I'm miserable about it or not having a good time with it, like that makes it harder. But like I said, as long as I'm having a good time with it, and then adding in stupid little shit that get people excited. Like I've been playing the shit out of Elden Ring, so we put a death counter on the screen, like every other streamer does. The death counter is like the thing in Elden Ring.
Yes. You gotta have the
love it, right? Yeah, they love it. They get mad when you don't die, right? Like I get mods in there going, come, like they're actively cheering for the boss every time I go in. Like it's, you know, like give them a chance to kind of troll at you a little bit. And
I say you learn how to get trolled as a content creator.
Yeah.
You learn how to get trolled.
Yes, you invite it. That keeps people engaged with you. It humanizes you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like there's a weird disconnect between content creator and viewer sometimes that is completely unwarranted. I'm a normal person that sits in a room in my house. Like it looks cool on camera. There is shit everywhere outside of this frame. Everything looks good on camera. You see this little box, right? So it puts you in this weird, like different dimension to a viewer, right? So anytime anybody tunes in and watches you on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, they view you as an expert, right? Even if you're not, you're on their screens. That makes you the expert. So finding a way just to kind of harness that and break down that barrier once in a while, right? Not all the way, because you can't, like the whole fourth wall thing, you're not supposed to like break it completely, whatever. But little peeks at it, people love it. Like they like to see a little personal side of you, that little like humble side of you. Like you die in a video game, you're humble, right? You lose in a video game in some shit manner, you're humble. Like people, you know, will go watch Shroud if they want to see him win. But you know what's more exciting than Shroud winning? Him fucking losing.
Hey, yo,
way more exciting.
Hey, listen. I would just like to put this announcement here out there, okay? If I'm in your Twitch stream, right, and I'm in your chat and I'm watching, and you know I'm there, I am fucking rooting for you to lose.
Hey.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
It's fucking hilarious. And when I'm on Twitch and I'm streaming, everybody in the chat wants me to lose. I get it. It's fucking entertaining watching someone lose, especially if they get mad.
Oh yeah, you love it when the top players, you know, they're playing Call of Duty or something like that, and they rage, they get upset, and you know, it goes nuts. Another question: for any like maybe young creators and stuff like that? Obviously, your biggest niche obviously is mana, right? Making coins,
Right.
working the block. You've got that as your niche, and that's what really what your a good part of your content is known for is with that. And what would be advice for somebody? Because it seems like I've been involved with streaming for 6 years, and I've been a part of the mana community when it was a lot smaller. And obviously now there's a lot more people that are doing it. You have a lot of people that are having success. And for younger guys getting started, they may feel kind of, in a sense, the best way I can say is overshadowed by a lot of the bigger people that are doing it and so many people wanting to do it. So for those people, what advice would you give to them to try to find a way to break through that code of the people that are kind of having that ceiling there and break through that to get yourself into that level? What would be some advice that you'd give some young guys?
And number one, this is going to sound really dumb, but stop playing the game. I get so bored. Man, when I have a day off or some shit, I will flip around to 50 different channels.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I do not mean to interrupt you. I do not mean to interrupt you, but we have a medical emergency. There is a fucking crazy person in the chat. There's a crazy person in the chat. Billy fucking Mays. That sorry son of a bitch. That ugly piece of shit. That good
Billy.
Nobody. Sorry ass asshole Billy Mays is in my chat. I hope you stub your toe when you get up to take a piss in the middle of the morning when you go to bed tonight. You sorry motherfucker. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kay. What were you saying?
I was telling people, like, new streamers, like, trying to break through a barrier, you got to stop playing the game, right? Like, I'll switch around, and like I said, I'll click on 50 different channels while I'm off, and they're all doing the same thing, sitting there just playing head to head. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're locked in because they got to win this and that. I'm like, bro, no one fucking cares if you win.
Nope.
No one cares.
Rob!
There's 6 whole streamers on the planet that I give a flying fuck if they win.
Rob!
Go ahead.
Rob! Do you hear this, Rob? Listen, I like to, y'all know I like to be transparent because we all family here. Everybody that shows up on this stream is family. Everybody that's in the chat is family. And so I'm going to be honest with y'all, family. What Buffalo K just said, I told Rob 6 months ago. Okay? I told him the same shit 6 months ago. Keep going, Kay. You know what, Kay? Hey, Rob, you're fired. Hey, Kay, you want to be my
Oh, man. Sorry, Rob.
Damn,
it's
Rob.
true, though. It's
Well, I
true.
mean,
Like,
what
I
are you
start
gonna
off,
do, right?
I start off every stream now for a half hour before I ever even turn on my Xbox. It's just me sitting there bullshitting. I don't care if there's 5 people there. We're gonna sit and bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna get to know you. You're gonna find how was your day, tell you how my day was, funny stories and shit, talk about whatever. We're gonna break down that barrier a little bit and get people kind of pulled in a little bit. Then we'll go play something, right? We'll talk about the news, movies, TV shows, food, whatever. Bring up some shit to just kind of bullshit around with. And then, like, I break off a lot too in the middle of streaming. Like, I'll be doing whatever. I'm like, time out, and game will disappear for 20 whole damn minutes. And I'll forget we're even what whatever we're playing. I mean you just, like, it just gets so dull to flip around and, like, I see the same thing over and over and over again, right? Even if you can play head to head, but something has to be different about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, something has to be different about it. I don't know, like, if you go in and you're like, chat calls the plays, right? Like per quarter, you know what I mean? Like, you put a poll up and go, all right, what are we doing this time? Oh, we're throwing every play. Cool. Next one's, oh, we're in goal line this drive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you let them just to see what can happen. Like, that goofy shit, that's what keeps people really engaged. Like, let them take a little bit of control, something a little bit different. Like, somebody pops into your stream for the first time, right? And sees you running goal line dive 4 times, and I go, what the fuck's going on? Then you go, all right, chat, your turn. We're on defense next. What are we calling? And the thing goes up. They're like, oh shit, we get to pick what this idiot does. Watch this, asshole. Like, that's that automatic trolling shit. They love it, right? They want in. I'm like, oh, you ain't throwing today, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they will enjoy that. Just different, like, small ways like that to then pull people. Like I have some on my channel right now when I play MLB. You know how many times I've gone into a game and had to bunt for a whole fucking inning? People use some bullshit channel points. I'll sit there like, oh, you motherfucker, man. Like, God damn it. Like, I'm down 1. I got to bunt this whole inning now. I'm like, thank you. Awesome. Because I don't care if I lose. They don't care if I win or lose. They want to see me struggle in the game, right? So that's it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, K's spitting, man. K is fucking spitting.
I know, PTA. I know you love his advice, PTA.
He's been spitting since he walked in the building, yo.
I know.
Yeah, since he walked in the building, K been spitting. You know what? Hold on a second, y'all. You know what? Yo, hold on a second. We don't even need him here no more, okay?
Yo, I'm on the bottom now.
My new co-host. Look at my new co-host. Hey, Kay. So we've been going about an hour 16, man. We've done we've really, we've covered a whole lot of things, right? And as my new co-host, all right, it's your job to now close the show. All right. So we're at that point now. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to Buffalo K for him to close out this show, and then we're going to go from there.
All right, mine are going to be quite a bit more low key than Rob's, but everybody, we appreciate the hell out of you for hanging out and listening to us just kind of talk some bullshit all night. Some good takes, some hot takes. Mine were all right though, so take that shit to the bank. Russ still sucks.
And I was fired.
Yeah, Rob got fired.
Fight back.
Tough day. I will leave with a little teaser though. Something cool is gonna happen tomorrow. Something interesting is gonna happen tomorrow. So keep an eye on socials tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a fun day. Tomorrow's gonna be
Make sure you're following Buffalo K on Twitter. What's your handle?
Everything's Buffalo K. Buffalo K everywhere.
Boom. At Buffalo K everywhere. Make sure that you are following Ash on Twitter. Okay?
Ashton Griffith, yeah.
At Ashton Griffith.
His socials read Buffalo K everywhere. Search that. That's what it means. That's what it is. Don't worry about me, because I'm a nobody, guys. Don't worry about me.
And listen, Rob's links are in the description, okay? This is the last week that this son of a bitch link.
It'll be in the description.
This next week, it's gonna be Buffalo K.
Oh man.
But listen, man, this is such a good time. Thank you so much, Kay, for coming and blessing us with your presence. Took a little longer to get you here than we wanted to, but you are now officially a family friend of the show. You can come here anytime you want to shoot the shit. My channel is everybody else's channel, and so I wholeheartedly believe that. So thank you very much, Buffalo. Thank you very much, Ash. Rob, checks in the mail.
That's
and we
crazy. You gotta fight back.
I'll sign my papers and send them over to you.
And with all that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all again. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and we will get up with you guys later on. Take care now. Deuces.
Birds on the line. The one.
That's not the right one.